Out we go. Before you even throw the punches, your stance must be right as far as your pivot. Start off with your pivot, get on your pivot, and it's light. The jab goes like this. This is exactly how the jab goes. Jab.
Counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford.
During a recent visit to Terence Crawford's training camp, Floyd Mayweather gave insightful advice on how to defeat Canelo Alvarez. Mayweather discussed tactics he used to defeat Canelo in their 2013 fight while he was there. In order to take advantage of Canelo's shortcomings, he suggested that Crawford concentrate on quickness, nimble defense, and accurate counterpunching. Crawford may benefit from Mayweather's coaching and knowledge as he gets ready for this career. Major obstacle to the larger and more formidable Alvarez.
You bring the hook with it. You can go to the body. Jab. Just double jab. Triple jab.
Canelo Alvarez was candid in his evaluation of Terence Crawford's career during a recent news conference. He noted that, in his opinion, Crawford hasn't yet played any opponents who are genuinely outstanding. Canelo said he is confident he embodies a level of expertise and knowledge Crawford has not yet encountered. This was more than just a bold statement. It was a psychological ploy to make Crawford doubt himself and put pressure on him before their confrontation. Canelo's comments demonstrate his faith in his own reputation as one of the best fighters in the sport, and he is intent on reminding everyone of the experience difference between him and his opponent.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You mention me one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me. It's gonna be me.
I don't care about nobody else.
And you will see that.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stuff a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? Same shit everybody else been saying since I moved to 147, I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next. Watch.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Max Kellerman's comparison of the two boxers was incisive. He emphasized how one of the most useful techniques in boxing today is Crawford's jab. According to Kellerman, Canelo used to have a similarly sharp jab, but it has since diminished, and Crawford now has a distinct advantage due to his accuracy and quickness in this area. Kellerman also underlined that Canelo, who mostly depends on his inherent strength and stature, may face significant challenges from Crawford's tactical knowledge. This analysis emphasizes how, in this situation, skill and strategy may be more important than physical traits.
Best jab.
Crawford.
Best defense.
Crawford. Nowadays, Crawford. I would say early in the fight, Canelo. And earlier in his career, Canelo. But he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot? You take punches. Everyone, the greatest defensive fighters ever get hit. Pernell Whitaker, Willie Pep, Floyd Mayweather, they all get hit. The question is, can you hit them with combinations? And both guys are hard to hit. With the two-piece, hard to hit.
So who has the best footwork out of the two?
In terms of cutting off the ring, last fight notwithstanding, Canelo has gotten much better at cutting off the ring. But, early in his career, he had a problem with that and was much more comfortable counterpunching. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size. Size and, as a result, physical strength and punching power. Canelo also has a great chin. A great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him.
Muhammad Ali's grandson, Mikiko Ali, has publicly shown his support for Terence Crawford. He claims that Crawford has excellent character and ability in the ring. Ali respects Crawford's ability, commitment, and self-control. Believing that he was a warrior deserving of the title of great, his support demonstrates how Crawford's impact extends beyond his accomplishments. It illustrates how well-liked he is by boxers with illustrious histories.
People with Canelo before Canelo's last fight, but then after Canelo's last fight, it seems like it's more 50-50 now. So everything is just the build-up for that fight is just going to be absolutely magnetizing. Like that fight, it's garnered so much more buzz after Canelo's last fight, and Bud is Bud. He's one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. He is one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Have you sparred any of them?
I haven't sparred Bud yet. I haven't been in Canelo's camp. I've met Canelo a few times. I love Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool, and I have so much belief in Bud, and I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades.
Canelo Alvarez has professionally recognized Crawford's skills. Weight classes lose part of their relevance when fighters are at their best, because great experts can adjust, he said. Canelo stated that he was determined to prepare as hard as possible, realizing that it takes more than just inherent advantages to defeat Crawford. His remarks demonstrate his regard for his opponent and his understanding that this fight requires excellent preparation and astute tactics.
Smaller guy, and why do I need to fight this guy? For you, what changed? Tell me about the moment where you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll do this. This sounds like a good idea.
No, if you're thinking about it, look how big turns this fight. It's a big fight. No, that's why made me change. But I've been in his situation before, jumping weight classes, and when you're a good fighter, that doesn't matter. So I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna focus on training very hard because Crawford is a very good fighter.
Yeah, tell me about your experience with that, because now it's reverse. He's coming up in weight. What could be dangerous? What aren't we seeing that maybe you see in this fight?
No, everything. He's a good fighter. Obviously, I know that, and I need to be careful. I need to be careful in everything.
It shows the adult offered a fair analysis of this altercation. He highlighted how Canelo's unwavering domination in the ring is a result of both his physical prowess and the rigorous structure of his training camp. He also acknowledged Crawford's special aptitude for deciphering and countering moves because of his wrestling experience, which strengthens his assault and defense. But according to Showbiz, Canelo has a minor advantage in this fight because of his experience and natural stature.
And Canelo uses his legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself to lift up Bivol like Bivol was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Alvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it, but he is a bull. Listen, Terence Bud Crawford is strong. He is, okay? And he understands leverage, and he understands those things because he wrestled. Honestly, very true. But Saul Canelo Alvarez is also extremely strong. Now, let me know how you feel in the comments below. We in the zone, war room.
Pierre Miller offered his personal predictions for the bout, saying he wanted to see Crawford win. He cited Crawford's Will and desire as qualities that will propel him to triumph in spite of any physical limitations. Miller brushed off worries about the size disparity, emphasizing that a determined fighter can get beyond such challenges. His perspective reflects a conviction that in major battles, Tart and willpower frequently tilt the scales.
Crawford, huge fight September 13th. Who do you think's going to win that?
I'm pulling for Crawford in this one. I think people was underestimating his strength right now and his size. And I think he's a little more hungry than Canelo. So let's see though. But I like both guys, but I'm more a little closer to Crawford, so I want to see Crawford can take it.
The significance of Crawford's tactics in this fight has been emphasized by several observers. This isn't your typical competition. A victory over a boxing legend like Canelo would dispel any concerns and enhance Crawford's legacy, making it a pivotal moment that might cement his position in boxing history. Crawford must use his keen intellect and refrain from taking needless chances in order to do this. His strategy must be based on accuracy, endurance, and flexibility.
Understands that he has to be smart. And I think with this one specifically, it ain't just about being smart. He knows he has to look like he's never looked before, because again, if he doesn't and he beats Canelo, everybody's just gonna say, well, that's Crawford, you know. So I think he knows that this is the performance of a lifetime and that everything has to look right. He knows in order for it to look right, he can't just go out there and let the dog go. The dog is, you know, you got to work his way up to the dog. Hey, show the clip real quick. I don't know if you showed it already, but this is the dog you're talking about right here, right? And so this is, I pulled this clip right here. I seen it on social media this morning.
Don't do that. That's what I'm saying.
And I pulled this clip, right? But this is Terence.
That's who he is.
He's not gonna swing on Canelo. He already know that part of the game. But what I asked you, were you ever trying to send a message to your opponents? He's letting you know, and it's no act. And that's what I really wanted to show, is that's not an act.
No.
That's not, there's 30 security guards.
It feels a little contrived.
You think so?
I think a lot of people feel it's a little like.
Well, I'm glad you used a big word that most of us don't know.
Hey, I don't fight as good as you guys. I had to learn some big words, right, to make up for that.
Don't look it up. Just ignore.
You need big words to get out of fights. You know, you need big words to get out of fights. But you know, okay. So case in point, our guy Hafey, sitting right there, producer extraordinaire. He had a picture of Terence Crawford in New York.
Crawford's goals are obvious. By going for a knockout against a bigger and stronger opponent, he is prepared to take big chances. His confidence is bolstered by his performance in higher weight classes. At 154 pounds, he managed himself well, demonstrating his ability to rise to greater difficulties. It is a jump to go up to 168, however. Crawford will not be out of his depth in this battle based on his skill set and past experience.
Bud Crawford is taking his undefeated record, putting it on the line, daring to be great, to try and knock off Saul Canelo Alvarez from his throne and go and try to do something that no man has ever done, and that is to be a 3-division undisputed champion. That's a tall task. We know that Canelo Alvarez has fought fighters way bigger than Bud Crawford. It's actually one of the biggest talking points in this fight is the size. Canelo Alvarez has fought guys like Bivol. He's fought guys like Kovalev. He's fought guys like Billy Joe Saunders. He's fought really big fighters who are established at their weight classes all the way up to light heavyweight. And we know that Bud has come from a smaller weight class, being a champion all the way down at the 135-pound division into 140, 147. But as you can see in the tail of the tape, Bud is actually taller. Bud actually has a bigger reach. And quite frankly, he did most recently fight in the 154-pound division. And I don't think he will struggle to make weight to be at 168 and fight as a super middleweight. The question is, though, is bone structure. Who's going to carry that weight more effectively? We know that Canelo Alvarez has been in the weight longer, and as I mentioned, he's fought bigger guys. It's really something amazing for Bud if he's able to pull this off?
First of all, he got to go in there and he just got to fight him. You know what I'm saying? He got to go in there. I think Crawford just got to go in there and do what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? He got to just beat Crawford, you know, show his IQ, show him why he's a two-time undisputed, you know, world champion, and go in there with confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You know, there's a big weight difference, a big weight jump. You know, that could be a difference in the fight. You know, because obviously, you know, it's like me jumping up to heavyweight. Obviously, I'm a feel the power. I'm a feel that size difference, you know, compared to my other fights. So I just think that he got to go in there and just be himself. And I said, if he loses, you know, we'll just all know that, hey, you know, he just jumped up 2 weight classes to be great. You know what I'm saying? It's not, he can't really, he's testing himself. He's testing himself a great fighter. So, and I don't doubt him, you know, I don't got no doubt in my mind. You know, he's a 2-time undisputed world champion for a reason. So, you know, and I don't think none's gonna phase him in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the power, maybe the size, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Canelo, he's not knocking Canelo out. So, he just got to go in there, just IQ.
Would you lean towards Canelo still in that fight?
I got faith in him. I think Crawford could do it. You know what I'm saying? I think he could do it. Just like I said, just the size. The only shit that throws the fight off is the size and, you know, obviously the power. And Canelo's IQ too, because Canelo got IQ, you know what I'm saying? And Canelo fought a lot much bigger guys, you know? So I know the Crawford's power ain't gonna phase him. I know Crawford's size ain't gonna phase him either, you know what I'm saying? So, but for me, I think it's a 50-50 fight.